All right, what is good, you guys? I've noticed on some of my last videos, you guys were talking about some of the people who referred themselves as producers, but they really are beat makers. So it got me thinking, am I a producer or am I a beat maker? And my conclusion is, I'm both of them. Not both of them, but both of them. Bolo! All right, before we get started with the video, make sure you guys go ahead and click that link at the bottom and get you a DistroVid and a DistroKid account. Why do you need both of them? I'm about to tell you. First of all, DistroKid is obviously the service that you would use to release your music so it'll be on all of the major DSPs. DistroVid is another service to where when you shoot a music video, you can actually go ahead and service it through DistroVid to all the major DSPs as well. So you use DistroKid for your music and you use DistroVid for your video. Now, it is very easy. Both of the sites are super easy to upload everything, and you can have your music set to a certain date so you can go ahead and release everything at one time. And with DistroVid, you can go ahead and collect all of your money from the videos that are being played from all the services, and you will have your own Vivo account as well. So you will have your own Vivo account, so the Vivo thing will be at the bottom of the video, so you'll look all nice, good, and proper, and everything looks like it's put together nice and well. So go ahead and click those links in the bottom if you're serious about your music. DistroKid starts at $19.95 a year for a single artist. I recommend most of the people to get that middle tier. It's like $34, $35 a year. You can release as many songs as you want and you collect on all your money and all that good stuff. And DistroVid starts at $99 a year for one artist. And if you want to add another artist, it's just an extra $49. Super simple. So go ahead, click both of the links, both of them, so you can go ahead and get your music and get your videos on all of the major DSPs. So let's go ahead and get to the video. All right, so the term producer is being used very openly, and to be honest with you, a lot of people are using that term wrong because a lot of you guys are just beat makers. You just make beats. And I'm gonna go ahead and try to break this thing down because we gotta figure out if you are a producer or if you are a beat maker. And of course, I want you guys to leave me some comments in the comment section if you believe you are a producer or a beat maker. All right, before we do that, we have to understand what a producer is. So we have to look up some key words of what's contained in the word producer. One is produce, the other one is product. So let's look up those definitions and see what they mean. All right, so the word produce, it says make or manufacture components of raw materials. And it says the similar words to that is manufacture, make, and construct. Okay, so it's basically saying that you're making something, you're manufacturing something. So let's go ahead and look up the definition of product. So a product is an article or substance that is manufactured or refined for sale. Yeah, that's definitely like what it is, a product. Yeah. All right, so let's look up music producer, which is kind of vaguely spread out all across the internet, but let me see if I can find a definition that kind of makes sense. All right, so I found some on the Berkeley online site, and they're going to give their definition of what it is to be a music producer. It states, what is a music producer? A music producer or record producer assists an artist with their recording project, bringing their vision to fruition and guiding their sound along the way. Being a music producer is in many ways a strange job. What a producer creates can't be seen. What a producer creates is not even an object. If you zoom all the way out, what a music producer does a living is this: vibrate air molecules in such a way that when the air molecules bump against the human life form, that life form feels something. Okay. So let me go ahead and give you guys my definition of what a music producer and a beat maker is. A music producer is somebody who just simply does not create the beat. Sometimes a music producer does not even make the beat, but they know how to put all the elements together. A music producer is somebody who is in the studio with an artist telling the artist, hey, we might need to do this. Or if they're in there with the keyboard player, hey, why don't we change this up? Why don't we take this part out? Why don't we add this? Why don't we add that? Hey, we might need the drums to do this. We might need this to do that. Kind of like Puffy. Puffy is one of the biggest music producers of all times. And even though he had the hitmen doing a lot of the beats, he was constructing a lot of those beats. And as you can see, he did a pretty doggone good job. He's living pretty good. A lot of us just call ourselves producers, but really we're just beat makers. Now, what is a beat maker? A beat maker to me is somebody that just sits home, they bang out a whole bunch of beats and they send them out. They don't give any other advice. They don't do anything else but sit home, make beats and send them out, and hopefully they will go ahead and get a placement. To me, that's what a beat maker is. They're not involved in the recording process. They don't have a say-so in the recording process or the process of even dropping out a few things or taking out this sound or doing whatever. That is strictly upon the artist. Now, that's why I say some of you guys are beat makers, and some of you guys are also producers, like me. Some days I'm a beat maker, and some days I'm a producer. Most of the days when I'm in the studio and I'm working with the artist, yes, I will sometimes make the beat right there on the spot, which at that point, I'm a beat maker. But then when the artist gets on the song, I am heavily engaged in the song. I say, do this part over, take this part out, change this line. Hey, can we bring a writer in so we can make this a sound a little bit better than what I can make? That is the role of a producer, somebody who is engaged in the whole record. But sometimes I might go to certain sessions and they say, hey, Bolo, we need you to make a beat. I go in there, bang out a few beats, and they be like, okay, cool, these beats sound good. We're gonna go ahead and record to them. And I don't have any say so. So in that sense, I'm just a beat maker. So yes, I do both of them. And I'm not scared to say that I'm both. Some people get all upset when you say, hey, you're a beat maker. And they're like, what you mean? I'm a producer. I'm a producer. Yeah, kinda. But really, you're a beat maker because you don't have any say-so over the record. Now, if you were there and you had say-so over the record, yeah, you're a producer. But if not, you're just a beat maker. Am I tripping by saying that? Because I know some people might trip. Am I tripping? But I also noticed that a lot of you guys who come on here and refer to other beat makers as what they are, beat makers, and some of you guys are saying that you guys are producers, maybe you need to look at yourselves as well and say, well, am I a producer or am I a beat maker? Because truthfully honest, the whole producer term really dates years back. It's not a hip hop thing. Like if you look right now on most country records, most rock records, blues records, basically anything else other than hip hop, you have a person that does the music, that may arrange the music and do this, but then you actually have a record producer. Most rock bands back in the day, all the guys knew how to play the instruments, but they always had somebody over them who was the record producer, who took the record and made it into something. And that guy was the most important piece of a lot of these great bands back in the day. And even now, even with country, there is a lot of emphasis on record producers because some of these guys are very, very good at what they do, and they don't even play anything. They get session players and they'll get everybody in there. They get the song put together well, and a lot of these guys are just phenomenal at what they do. As in hip hop, we just say, hey, I made a beat. I'm a producer. Does not work like that. For you to be a producer, you have to be engaged with that record. You have to be the person who is telling people what to do and can even tell the artist what to do. See, that's another big thing. A producer can even tell the artist, hey, I think you might need to switch that up. Hey, I think you might need to do this. Hey, I think you might need to do that. That's why some people might discredit DJ Khaled, but DJ Khaled is a hell of a producer. He is. He's the type of person that sits in there with the artist. He gets those records done, and it seems like every year he has like 2 or 3 anthems every single year because he knows how to produce records. So to be honest, there's really not a bad thing with being a beat maker. Okay, it's cool. It's all right. You can accept your role. But what I do want to stress to a lot of you guys is I hope that you guys can get to the point to where you can put together records so that you will be called a producer, because you really want to have control over these records so you can get these records sounding the way you want them to sound. You don't want nobody just taking your beats and putting anything on them. I try to stress to people, if you are making beats, go in the studio and develop a relationship with these artists so you can actually give them feedback so these songs won't be sounding like trash. Because that's what everybody talks about right now, how everything is not sounding good. Why? Because there's no interaction between beat makers and artists. So now you can't even be a producer. Me, I'm a producer. I sit there with an artist. But in some situations, I just can't do it. I want you guys to let me know, are you a producer or are you a beat maker? And tell me some situations to where you feel like you are a producer or if you are a beat maker. And if you agree with me, let me know. If you do not agree with me, let me know either way. I want to hear from you guys. So I hope this video was informative. Hope you guys learned something from it. And like I always say, peace out.